Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandhar Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashatarashatashmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shila Guru Deva ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashatarashatashmar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashatarashatashmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashatarashatashmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashatarashatashmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai Nitya Pravishta Maha-Bhagavat Srila Gorakshodas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Nitya Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai Nitya Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Shri Rupa Nugogoriya Guru Varga ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasa Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala, Gora Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradati Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai Shri Purushottam Dev ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakraju ki Jai, Shri Purushottam Kshetra ki Jai, Shri Purushottam Vrat ki Jai, Vrat Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Kamada Akarashi Titi ki Jai, Akarashi Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya-charitamrita ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, everybody. Let me see all who's there. One second, I'm just checking to see if the audio is okay. Yes, my mic is. Okay. 1 second. Where is Restream there? Haribo, Raseshwari Mataji, and Karuna Didi, and Ganga Mataji, Govinda Saha, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, Vidyalalasa Didi. Hare Krishna, everybody. Yeah, Prajumna Prabhu, I do have a flu. I have like a fever and sore throat and all that kind of stuff, body aches, headache. But today this morning I'm feeling better. Last night was really rough. But yeah, I am very out of it right now. You couldn't notice before. Okay, so today is Kamada Akadashi here. Or I think for some of you, maybe in the West, it's the Akadashi Eve, but I think it's still appropriate to sing on Akadashi Eve. We're gonna sing. This is from Caitanya-bhāgavata, chapter 8, Madhya Khanda of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. It's Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidhan. I'll read the translation first, and then we can sing it all. It's very long. On Akadashi, after decreeing Hari Kirtan, Mahaprabhu, who is the life and soul of the universe, begins to dance in ecstasy. In the courtyard of the virtuous Srivas, the auspicious sounds of Kirtan, Gopal, Govinda, reverberates loudly. The sounds of the mridanga, mandira, that's these little small kartals, kanch, and karatal, all blend nicely with the Sankirtan. The thunderous sound penetrates the universe, filling the whole sky. everything inauspicious in all four directions is annihilated. At dawn, Vishwambar dances, while the kirtan groups formed sing charmingly. One group is with Shivas Pandit, and many others sing with Mukunda Datta. There are many more with Govinda Ghosh. As Gaura Chandra dances, everyone performs kirtan. The mighty Nityananda Prabhu holds on to Mahaprabhu and gently strokes him, while Advaita Acharya secretly takes his foot dust. Their eyes brimming with tears, Gadadhar and others become overwhelmed in transcendental happiness due to Mahaprabhu's kirtan. When Vishwambar dances with great force, the earth trembles and everyone becomes afraid. Sometimes Vishwambar dances so sweetly that he appears to be the son of Nanda, the best of dancers. Their eyes filled with joy, Mahaprabhu's servants observe his unprecedented love for Sri Krishna and his incomparably beautiful dancing. Mahaprabhu Vishwambar dances, rejoicing in his own transcendental happiness. The rhythmic sound of his lotus feet is extremely captivating. Under the weight of his ecstatic emotions, his garland is unable to remain around his neck. Breaking apart, it falls at the feet of the devotees. The auspiciousness of Sri Harinam Sankirtan spreads in all four directions as the son of Jagannath Mishra dances in the midst of the devotees. Absorbed in the bliss of Sri Hari's name, Shiva becomes oblivious to his own clothing. He, whose glories impel Shiva to dance in ecstasy, also dances himself. By his name, Valmiki achieves the wealth of austerity, and by his name, Ajamil receives deliverance. By hearing the Lord's name, the bindings of the material world are destroyed. That Lord, having descended, dances in the age of Kali. His name is chanted by Shukadev and Narad as they wander about. His glories are sung by the Lord of innumerable mouths, Sri Anantadev. His name constitutes the highest form of atonement. That Lord dances, while those who are supremely fortunate look on. Seeing Mahaprabhu's transcendental bliss, the associates of the Lord embrace each other and weep. Sandal paste and garlands grace everyone's bodies. They sing in great bliss, forgetting their own selves due to immersion in Krishna Ras. Entranced in kirtan, all the Vaishnavas lose complete sense of their own bodies. They lose sense of all their bodies and everyone else around them. Delighted, everyone sings day and night, Jai Krishna, Murari, Mukunda, Vanamali. Day and night, Vishwambar dances with the devotees, but they never become fatigued because their bodies are fully transcendental. In such a manner, Mahaprabhu Vishwambar dances the entire night except for one prahar, during which he sleeps. In this way, transcendental happiness arises in the land of Navadvip as the hero of Vaikuntha sports in Prem Ras. Gaurachandra and his associates remain in the hearts of those who hear this entire auspicious description. Vrindavan Das Thakur offers this song at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and Chaitanya and the moon-like Nityananda Prabhu. He offers this song at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and the moon-like Nityananda Prabhu. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Raseshwari Mataji. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, let me just get the mardanga. And actually, I should drink some water. 1 second. Krishna. Okay. I'm gonna sing this fast since it's so long, and I don't want to start late the reading. Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana Nritaya Rambhila Prabhu Jagatera Prana Punyavanta Shrivasa Angane Shubharamba Utila Kirtana Dvani Gopala Govinda Mridanga Mandira Baje Shankakara Tala Sankirtana Shange Sabha Hoilo Mishala Brahmanda Bhedilo Dvani Puriya Akasha Chodiker Amangala Jai Sabanasha Usha Kala Hoite Nrita Kore Vishwambhara Juta Juta Hoilo Jata Gayana Sundara Shivasa Pandita Loya Eka Sampradaya Mukunda Loya Arjana Kotogaya Loya Govinda Gosha Arakoto Jana Kora Chandra Nritte Sabe Korena Kirtana Dhoriya Bulena Nityananda Mahabale Alakshite Advaita Loyena Padaduli Kadadhar Adi Jata Sajalanayane Anande Vivala Hoila Prabhura Kirtane Jokhona Udanda Nache Prabhu Vishwambhara Prithvi Kampita Hoy Sabe Paidara Kokono Vamadhura Nachaye Vishwambhara Jeno Deki Nandera Nandana Natavara Hoya Parupa Krishna Visha Aparupa Nritya Anande Nayana Bhori Dekhe Sababhrita Nijanande Nache Mahaprabhu Vishwambhara Charanera Tala Shuni Ati Manohara Bhava Bhare Mala Nahi Rahaye Kalaya Chindiya Padaye Giya Bhakatera Pai Chaturdi Keshi Hari Mangala Sankirtana Maje Nache Jagannatha Mishra Nandana Jar Namanande Shiva Vasana Na Jane Jar Jashe Nache Shiva Se Nache Apane Jar Name Valmiki Hoila Tapodhana Jar Name Ajamila Pailo Mochana Jar Nama Shabane Sangsara Bandha Guche Heno Prabhu Avatari Kale Juge Nache Jar Nama Gai Shuka Narada Bedai Sahasravadana Prabhu Jar Guna Gai Sarva Mahaprayashchita Jai Prabhu Ranam She Prabhu Nachaye Deke Jata Bhagavana Prabhu Ra Ananda Deki Bhagavata Gana Anyone Galadori Koro Ye Grandana Sabara Yangete Shobhe Shri Chandana Mala Yanante Kayena Krishna Rase Hoy Bhola Jate Ka Vaishnava Sabha Kirtana Aveshe Na Jane Apana Deha Anya Jana Kise Jai Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali Ahar Nishakai Sabe Hoy Kutuhali Aharnisha Bhakta Sange Nache Vishwambhara Shanti Nahi Karo Sabe Sattva Kalevara E Mata Nache Mahaprabhu Vishwambhara Nishi Abhashesha Matra Se Eka Prahara E Mata Ananda Hoy Navadvipa Pure Premara Se Vaikuntera Nayaka Vihare Esha Kala Punya Kata Je Kore Shravan Bhakta Sange Gora Chandre Rahutara Mana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanta Jan Vrindavana Dasa Tachu Pade Juge Gana Vrindavana Dasa Tachu Pada Juge Gana Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana Nitra Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Prana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Hari Vasar Ekadashi Hari Vasar Jaya Ekadashi Jaya Bhakti Janani Jaya Ekadashi Bhakti Janani Jaya Ekadashi Jaya Sachinandan Gora Hare Sachinandan Jaya Gora Hare Jaya Sachinandan Gora Hare Sachinandan Jaya Gora Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Shubhananda Prabhu and Kishore Prabhu and Sudevi Didi. Hare Krishna, everybody. And who else is there? Usually it shows me how many people are looking on YouTube, but this time it's not. That's weird. Oh, now it is. Oh wow, there's a lot of people. 10 devotees. Hare Krishna. Alright, so I'll share my screen again, and let's recap what we read yesterday. 1 second, let me just put this madanga down. Oh, Krishna. Oh, and I've already said this, but just for those who came just now, if you're wondering why I'm a little out of it, it's because I got a bit sick. Yesterday I got a fever, sore throat, headache, all that kind of stuff. And I was feeling pretty lousy, but this morning I'm feeling a bit better. Still have a bit of a throat thing, but I'm not. I'm just like really spacey. I didn't eat anything yesterday either because I just. Okay, so let's see. Okay, just sharing my screen now. Let me open. Let's read all the verses that we went over yesterday from. Oh, no, yeah, okay. Actually, I think today I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the Mangala Charan first, and then I'll do the recap, just so that we don't break the flow. I think that's a good idea. Who's sending me messages? Oh, I'll check that later. Okay. What am I doing? I'm so spaced out. Oh yes, I'm opening up. I think it's here in extra files. No, I'm in the wrong folder. Okay, here. And now I'm in the right folder. Chapter 2. Boom. Oh. Oh, it doesn't look good here. Let me open it in a different program. There, that's better. Okay, so. Oh, but I said I was first going to do the Mangala Charan. Okay. Anyways, now we're ready for the reading. Okay. Ajnanatmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tara Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujao Kanakavadato Sankirtanai Kapitaro Kamalaya Vishwambaro Dijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha Avatirno Sakarunyo Parichinno Sarishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Dvau Bhrataro Bhaje Sajayati Vishuddha Vikrama Kanakaba Kamalaya Tekshana Varajanu Vilambi Sharbhujo Bahudara Bhakti Rasabhinartaka Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishveshamurte Jayati Jayati Nrityang Tasya Sarva Priyanam Adya Shri Chaitanya Mor Sorry Adya Shri Chaitanya Priya Goshtir Charane Ashisha Prakare Mor Danda Paraname Tabe Vando Shri Krishna Chaitanya Maheshwar Navadipe Avatar Nama Vishwambar Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavamishanam Govindam Gopika Priyam Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshaya Kshiptashtakamaदितराङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I was supposed to turn on noise suppression. 1 second. Forgot to do that. Okay, now, oh yeah, we'll sing this, the glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya-charitamrita. Where is it? Huh, weird, I can't find it open there. Let me look here. Okay. Ore mura lok shuno Chaitanya Mangal Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Vishakal Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Veda Vyas Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das Koilo Chaitanya Mangal Jahara Shravane Nashe Sarvaya Mangal Chaitanya Nitar Jate Jani Mahima Jate Jane Krishna Bhakti Siddhanter Sima Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhanter Sar Likhiyachen Iha Jani Koriya Udhar Chaitanya Mangala Shune Jadi Pashandi Jaban Sheho Maha Vaishnava Hoy Tatokhan Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Granta Dhanya Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Shri Chaitanya Vrindavana Dasa Pare Koti Namaskar Aiche Granta Korite Ho Tarila Sansar Narayani Chaitanya Uchishta Bhajan Tar Garbe Janmila Shri Dasa Vrindavan Tar Ki Arbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnan Jahara Shavane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan. Madhya Lila 4-5. Sahaje Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihar Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amriter Dhar. By nature, the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Haribo Jai, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Gaudiya Bhashya ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Haribo. All right. So let's read all the verses from chapter 2 from the Lord's appearance. Just checking 1 second. Oh God. I'm super spaced out right now. It's pretty ridiculous. Haribo, Kanak Manjari Didi. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to read the translation. Let's read the verses for the Mangalacharan and then I'll just read the translations. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Gaura Sundar Jaya Jagannatha Putra Maheshwar. All glories to Mahaprabhu Shri Gaura Sundar. All glories to the son of Jagannath Mishra, the Lord of all lords. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Gadadharer Jivan. Jaya Jaya Advaitadi Bhakter Sharan. All glories to the life and soul of Nityananda and Gadadhar. All glories to the shelter of the devotees, headed by Advaita Prabhu. And there is a very interesting commentary here that says that all the devotees in Madhur Ras, who are serving in the conjugal mellow, they all take shelter of Gadadhar Pandit. They all serve under Gadadhar Pandit. And everyone of all the other rasas, of Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, they all take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to the shelter of the devotees, headed by Advaita Prabhu. Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jai Jai. Shunile Chaitanya Kata Bhakti Labhya Hoy. All glories to Lord Gauranga, along with his associates. By hearing the topics of Śrī Caitanya, one attains devotional service to the Lord. Puna Bhakta Shange Prabhu Pare Namaskar, Spuruk Jivaya Gora Chandra Avatar. I again offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya and his devotees. Let the topics of Śrī Gaurachandra become manifest on my tongue. Jaya Jaya Śrī Karuna Sindhu Gaurachandra. Jaya Jaya Śrī Seva Vigraha Nityananda. All glories to Śrī Gaurachandra, the ocean of mercy. All glories to Nityananda Prabhu, the personification of devotional service. Okay, so from this point, I'm just going to read the translations up till verse 18. Although the truths of the two brothers and their devotees are incomprehensible, they can be realized by the mercy of their lordships. The knowledge of personalities like Lord Brahma is enhanced by the mercy of Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in all the scriptures, such as the Vedas and the Śrīmad-bhāgavatam. There's a quote from Śrīmad-bhāgavatam 2:4-22. May the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. In the beginning of, so now Vrindavan Das Thakur gives his explanation of this verse. In the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma was born from the lotus, sprouted from the navel of Lord Vishnu. Still, he had no power to see anything. When Brahma took full shelter of the Lord, then out of compassion, the Lord appeared before him. Then, by the mercy of Krishna, Brahma received transcendental knowledge so that he could understand the various incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna's incarnations are very difficult to understand. Who has the power to understand them without his mercy? In the Śrīmad-bhāgavatam, Lord Brahma concludes that the pastimes of Krishna's incarnations are inconceivable and inaccessible. Okay, this is a verse from Śrīmad-bhāgavatam 10:14-21. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Supersoul, Master of all mystic power. Your pastimes are taking place continuously in the three worlds, but who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. So now Vrindavan Das Thakur's Bengali rendition of this verse. Śrīmad-bhāgavatam 10:14-21. So this is the prayers of Brahma. Who has the ability to know, who has the ability to know why Krishna Chandra incarnates? Still, I am giving whatever reasons are described in the Śrīmad-bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So then he gives this verse from Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, verse 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. And now the next verse. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. That's both these verses. That's Bhagavad Gita chapter 4:7 and chapter 4:8. Verse 8, I mean. All right, so that's where we read up to yesterday. So let's continue on. Oh, Krishna. Did we read Paritranaya Sadhunam Gaudiya Bhashya? I can't remember. And yeah, let's take a look. Oh, and if Kishore Prabhu or Shubhananda Prabhu, if you have anything that you want to share, you can do so now if you like. Anything from yesterday, anything that stood out to you. Otherwise, I'll just start. 18. Okay, I'll just start.
I had a question, but it's off topic, so maybe I'll ask at the end.
Okay, yeah, ask that then. Okay. Do you remember if we read this commentary? I think we did. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I think we read this commentary and then we stopped at verse 19. Okay. So, okay. Just checking restream 1 second. Oops, not right thing. Where is restream? There, okay. Okay. Dharma para bhava hoy jokhane jokhane adharmer prabalata bade dine dine saru jan rakha dushta vinasha karane brahmadi prabhur pai kore vigyapane. Oops. Once again, I have the wrong keyboard. Wherever there is a decline in religious principles, and 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. Wherever there's a decline in religious principles and irreligion becomes more prominent day by day, at that time, the demigods headed by Brahma pray at the feet of the Lord to protect the sadhus and destroy the miscreants. Waiting for it to load. Okay. Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. When the living entities who are averse to the Lord remain in the midst of temporary sense enjoyment, the material conceptions gradually increase. From Satya to Treta to Dwapara Yuga, religious principles gradually diminish, and the propensity for material enjoyment gradually increases. At the same time, due to a lack of religious activities, irreligious activities become more prominent. The ascending process is a form of irreligion. Ascending process means trying on your own endeavor to elevate yourself rather than praying for mercy. So I don't need help. I can elevate myself. So the ascending process is a form of irreligion because in this process, there's no service attitude towards Śrī Adhokshaj. The pure devotees of the Lord who are engaged in the service of Adhokshaj are always disturbed. They're always disturbed by the conditioned living entities' irreligious endeavors. The mental speculators consider themselves rich and powerful by 5 opulences, by gambling, drinking, illicit sex, animal slaughter, and gold. They thus attempt to attack the absolute truth, who descends for the eternal benefit of the living entities. In order to check such endeavors of the mental speculators and make them slip from their path, in order to check such endeavors and make them slip from their path, the unlimitedly powerful destroyer of nescience and the bewilderer of the demons, the supreme absolute truth, Lord Vishnu, incarnates. In this way, Lord Brahma offers prayers at the lotus feet of the Lord in every millennium. Tabe Prabhu Juga Dharma Sthapana Korite Sango Pange Avatirna Hana Prithivite. The Lord then appears in this material world with his associates and paraphernalia in order to reestablish the principles of religion. Gaudiya Bhashya. When Lord Brahma, the creator and regulator of the universe, prays for the Lord's incarnation for the benefit of the entire universe, the absolute personality of Godhead descends, along with his associates, from his own abode in Vaikuntha into this material world. The pure devotees know that reestablishing religious principles and appropriate for the particular time is one of the purposes for the Lord's advent. The function of the Naimitic Lila avatars is to establish the principles of religion, or the Yuga Dharma. Kali Juge Dharma Hoy, Hari Sankirtan, Etararte Avatirna Shri Sachinandan. The religious principle for the age of Kali is the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Shri Sachinandan incarnates to establish this principle. Gaudiya Bhashya. The living entities are delivered by the process of meditation in Satya Yuga, fire sacrifice in Treta Yuga, worship of the Lord in Dwapar Yuga, and congregational chanting of Lord Hari's names in Kali Yuga. Lord Shri Sachinandan appeared in this world to propagate this congregational chanting. Eko he Bhagavata Sarvatirtha Sar Kirtana Nimitta Gaura Chandra Avatar. It is stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that the supreme absolute truth, Lord Gaurachandra, incarnates to propagate the chanting of the holy names. Gaudiya Bhashya. The people of this age of Kali are engaged in arguments that result in various quarrels. In order to benefit these people, Shri Gaurasundar propagated the congregational chanting of the Lord's holy name, which is the supreme absolute truth, the destroyer of all illusion and the form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is also confirmed that Shri Gaurasundar is the essence of all truths, the supreme absolute truth, and the personification of Sankirtan. Who keeps messaging me? Oh, okay. Iti dvaparurvisha stuvanti jagarishvaram nana tantra vidhanena kalavapi tatha shrinu. O king, in this way, people in Dwapar Yuga glorified the Lord of the universe. In Kali Yuga, people also worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by following various regulations of the revealed scriptures. Now kindly hear of this from me. So this in the following verse are from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5. This one is verse 31, and the next one will be verse 32. These verses were spoken by the great devotee Sri Karabhajan Muni, one of the 9 Yogendras, while describing the incarnation and process of worship for the age of Kali. They are part of his reply to Nimi, the king of Videha, who inquired about the king of Videha, Nimi, inquired about the colors, features, names, times of Advent, and processes for worshiping Lord Hari's incarnations. So this is one of the answers. Now we come to this famous verse. This is verse 32, right? Yes. 11:5:32. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Sumedasaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. One second, I think I need to stand up. I'm getting really sleepy. I couldn't sleep last night. Also, I went to sleep at like, I don't know, it's like 2 in the morning, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, now you don't need to worry about me falling asleep. Okay. Yeah. Ah, okay. The word tvisha refers to he whose color is not blackish. In other words, he whose luster is golden. Intelligent persons worship this Lord. Now, this is Garga Muni speaks to Nanda Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 8, 13. He says, your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumes 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. And now he has appeared in a blackish color. In these words spoken by Garga Muni to Nanda Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 8, 13, it is proved that apart from white, red, and black, the Lord also appears with a yellow or golden complexion. The word idanim, or now in this verse, indicates that the Lord has accepted a blackish color in his present incarnation. It is understood from this statement that the Lord appeared in Dwapar Yuga in a blackish complexion, and that he had previously appeared in the Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga with white and red complexions. The word pita, or golden, is used in the past tense to confirm that the Lord had appeared with a golden complexion in previous Kali Yugas. Lord Shri Krishna will be fully glorified in this book, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in order to confirm that, where is this from? Is this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary? Let's see. This is Jiva Goswami's Krama Sandarbha and some Sarva Sambadini commentary, what we're reading right now. It's annoying how it's put at the very end. Okay. Lord Shri Krishna will be fully glorified in this book, Srimad Bhagavatam. So in order to confirm that all incarnations are included in Krishna, he was also known as the Yuga Avatar. Whenever Lord Krishna appears in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Gaurasundar appears in the immediately following Kali Yuga. From this statement, it is concluded that Shri Gaurasundar is himself Lord Krishna, because there has never been an exception. The fact that Shri Gaurasundar is himself Lord Krishna is being disclosed by the author by his use of the following adjectives. So these are the adjectives. The word Krishna Varna indicates one who possesses the 2 syllables, Kri and Shna. In other words, he whose name, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Dev, includes these 2 syllables, Kri and Shna. That's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 3.3.3, Sridhar Swami has explained that the words Shriya Sarvanena that of the word Shriya Savarnena, the word Shriya means of Shri or of Rukmini, and Savarnena refers to one who possesses the two equal syllables, Ru and Kmi. Such dual meanings are found in various places within the Srimad Bhagavatam. Alternatively, the word Krishna Varna means one who describes Krishna. In other words, he personally chants the holy name while remembering his own ecstatic spiritual pastimes, and he mercifully instructs everyone about his holy names. Interesting. So either means one whose name is the two syllables Krishna, or one who describes Krishna. Alternatively, although he is personally a Krishna or golden, he is nevertheless Tvisha or lustrous. In other words, he distributes the holy names of Krishna to everyone by his sweet beauty. Or in other words, everyone becomes Krishna consciousness. Sorry, that everyone becomes Krishna conscious is a mistake there. Everyone becomes Krishna conscious by seeing him. Alternatively, although Sri Krishna appears, Alternatively, although Sri Krishna appears as Gaur in the eyes of his devotees, he is Tvisha, or of a lustrous blackish complexion. In other words, he is seen by his devotees as Sri Shama Sundar. Therefore, Sri Gaurasundar is Sri Krishna himself. Or in other words, Sri Krishna has personally appeared as Sri Gaurasundar. Therefore, the conclusion is that Sri Gaurasundar is Sri Krishna himself. The supremacy of Sri Gaurasundar is established by the words Sango Pangastra Parshadam. In other words, the Lord appears with his Anga, Upanga, Astra, and Parshad. That is, his limbs, his decorations, his weapons, and associates. And there's a note here in parentheses. This term has been used in karma dharai and oppositional compounds. According to Srila Vyasadeva, the angas of the Lord are also called upangas, astras, and parshadas. Okay. Since the limbs of the Supreme Lord are most enchanting, they are known as decorations. Since the limbs of the Supreme Lord are most powerful, they are known as weapons. Since the limbs of the Supreme Lord always remain with the Lord, they are called associates of the Lord. Many great personalities have seen this form of the Lord. This is a well-known fact among the residents of West Bengal, Orissa, and Bangladesh. Another meaning of this phrase is that the Lord has appeared along with his most powerful devoted companions, like Srimad Advaita Acharya, who are counted as Angas, Upangas, and Astras of the Lord. So who are the Angas? I think Angas refers to the two main arms, which is Advaita Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Those are the Angas, right? And I think the Upangas are the Lord's confidential associates, like Gadadhar Pandit, Ramananda Rai, Swarup Damodar, the six Goswamis, like that. And then the Astra is two things. One was, it's the holy name of the Lord, Shri Harinam Sankirtan, and one other thing. What was the other thing? I forgot. Anyhow. And then Parshad is all the other associates of the Lord. Angra, Upanga, Astra, Parshad. By which process do the devotees worship Sri Gaurasundar? In answer to this, it is explained that people worship him by sacrifice, yajna. The evidence of this fact is the statement of the demigods in the Srimad Bhagavatam 5:19-24. Na yatra yagyesha maka mahutsava. Where there is no festivals of Sankirtan Yajna to satisfy the Lord. The use of the adjective Sankirtan Prayar is a confirmation of accepting this sacrifice as the means of attaining perfection, not any other kind of Yajna, this Sankirtan Yajna. The word Sankirtan refers to a large gathering of people chanting the holy names of Krishna. The process of Sankirtan Yajna, or congregational glorification of Lord Krishna, which is prominently displayed by by devotees of the Lord, is thus concluded to be the process of attaining perfection. The Sankirtan Yajna is the process for attaining perfection. In the Vishnu Sahasranam of the Mahabharata, Dan Dharma 149, verses 92 and 75, the following characteristics of the Lord, Śrī Gaur, are described. Suvarna Varna, he whose body is the color of gold. Hema Anga, whose body is like molten gold. Sutam, he whose body is most beautiful. Chandana Balai Yukta, he whose body was smeared with sandalwood. Sanyas Lila Abhinaya Kori. Abhinay, right? Yeah. He who practices the renounced order of life. Shama Guna Yukta, he who is equipoised. And Shanta, he who is peaceful. Śrī Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the crest jewel amongst learned scholars, also described the subject matter, the appearance of Śrī Gaur, in the following verse. He said, let my consciousness, unfortunately we don't have the Sanskrit verse here. Let my consciousness, which is like a honeybee, take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has just now appeared as Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach the ancient system of devotional service to himself. This system had been almost lost due to the influence of time. So everything that we just read now is from Jiva Goswami's Karma Sandarbha and his Sarva Sambhadini. Caitanya-bhāgavata Adikanda, verse 26. Kale Juge Sarva Dharma Hari Sankirtan Sab Prakashilen Chaitanya Narayan. Sab Prakashilen Chaitanya Narayan. Lord Chaitanya inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names as the essence of all religious principles for the age of Kali. Gaudiya Bhashya. In his commentary on the Mundaka Upanishad, the senior Vaishnava Sri Madhva Muni has quoted the following verse from Sri Narayan Samhita. Dvapariyar Janar Vishnu Pancharatraistu Kevalai Kalotu Naman Matrena Pujyate Bhagavan Hari. In the Dwapar Yuga, people should worship Lord Vishnu only by the regulative principles of the Narad Pancharatra and other such authorized books. In the age of Kali, however, people should simply chant the holy names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever there is a disagreement about the process of spiritual advancement, the process itself is generally criticized. But only the chanting of Hari Nam is indisputably situated above all other processes of sadhana. In the first verse of his Shikshashtakam, Śrī Caitanya Narayan has stated, Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Sheya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratiparam purnamrita svadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. The second and third verses of Sri Shikshashtak also explain the process of chanting Krishna's names. The fourth verse explains the process of anartha nivritti, cleansing the heart of all unwanted things. The fifth verse explains the living entity's constitutional position. The sixth verse explains the state of the living entity who chants the holy name. The seventh verse explains the result of that state. And the eighth verse explains the symptoms of perfection. In his Bhakti Sandarbha, I'm curious to see what the Bengali is for that. Sorry, just 1 second. There. What verse are we on? We're on verse 26. Okay. Let me just find verse 26. Let's see. Because English is so unspecific. And so it's just good to know 26. 23, 24. There's 26. Oh my God. This is such a long commentary. Or is that 27? Can't even, oh, there's 27. Okay. So here it is. Sorry, guys, it's taking way longer than I thought it would. Okay. So in the first verse, okay, let's see. What does it say? Anandam Bhurivaranam. Okay, Shri Shikshashtaker, Dvitiya Atritiya Shloker, O, Shri Krishna Kirtan Vidhan. Chaturtha Shloke, Nivritta, sorry, Nivitra Narther Kirtan. Okay. So it destroys all anarthas. Pancham Shloke, Sarupa Bhigyan, sorry, Sarup Abhigyan Saha Kirtan. Shashta Shloke, Nama Grahan Karir Avastha. Okay. Saptam Shloke, Oi Avastar Parinam Evam, the Parinam, okay, the transformation of that. And Ashta Shloke, Sarup Siddhir Lakan Varnit Vayache. Sarup Siddhi. Okay, so Sarup Siddhi means obtaining your spiritual, like attaining your Sarup, your spiritual. It's more than just, yeah, I guess perfection, but it means actually becoming established in your Siddha Deha, right? Your spiritual form in the spiritual world. Okay. Okay, in his Bhakti Sandarbha 273 and in his Krama Sandarbha commentary on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, that's 7.5 verses 23 to 24, Srila Jiva Goswami has given the following process regarding the chanting of the holy names as instructed by Sri Gaurasundar. Yadyapanya bhakti kalo kartavya tada tat kirtanakya bhakti samyogenaiva. Although other processes of devotional service should be performed in Kali Yuga, they must all be accompanied by the chanting of the holy names. This is quoted all the time, these words. So any other process that we do in bhakti, if we're doing pada sevanam, if we're doing archan, if we're doing anything in any of these other processes, it won't give any fruit if it's not accompanied by Harinam Sankirtan. So Sankirtan has to be done with archan. Kirtan has to be done with vandana, with archan, with any of the other things. Atmanivedan, like that. No limb of bhakti can be performed independent of kirtan. Otherwise, it just doesn't have the fruit. Okay, verse 27. Kali juge sankirtana dharma pali bare avatirna hoila prabhu sarva parikare. In Kali Yuga, the Lord incarnates with his associates in order to maintain the religious principle of Sankirtan. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Sankirtan refers to loud congregational chanting of Taraka Brahma, the holy names that deliver one. The Taraka Brahma names contain knowledge of one's eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. The Lord's holy names are compared with the bud of a flower. From the holy names, the Lord's form, qualities, associates, and pastimes gradually unfold. That is why Namacharya Sri Thakur Haridas always chanted the Taraka Brahma Maha Mantra for everyone's benefit. Those who have recorded the transcendental activities of Śrī Gaurasundar have specifically refrained from describing his pastimes of giving formal initiation to anyone, so that no one would glorify him only as a guru who gave initiation into the Mahamantra. The devotees of Śrī Caitanya are initiated into the chanting of this Mahamantra and always chant loudly as well as softly in a secluded place. They chant loudly and softly in a secluded place. What's Taraka means deliver, right? The deliverer Brahma. Let's just see. I just want to see. Taraka. Oops. Yeah, deliverer, savior. Taraka Brahma. So the holy name is called Taraka Brahma. It delivers one into Brahman, into the spiritual. Okay. Oh, whoops, I'm not done. The word sarva parikare indicates that the 5 types of Krishna, the word sarva parikare indicates that the 5 types of Krishna devotees neither considered the incarnation of Vipralamba, Śrī Gaurasundar, as the object of Madhur Ras, nor did they assist him in conjugal affairs in the course of his magnanimous pastimes. Rather, they nourished his feelings of separation from Krishna by helping him cultivate those mellows. Yeah, so if you think otherwise, then you are Gauranga Nagar. You're Gauranga, that's Gauranga Nagaribad. Those who want to contradict the Gaur pastimes of the supreme shelter Krishna by putting a flute or cowherd stick in Gaurasundar's hands, imposing the mood of a paramour on him, or considering him the charioteer of Arjuna, can never be counted among Gaur's associates or servants. Okay, so never put a cowherd stick or a flute in Gaurasundar's hands. We see this in a lot of the Babaji temples. Even just, you saw the pictures I showed you yesterday. There's a golden Gauranga Mahaprabhu holding a flute. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is cutting that conception here. Many damsels from the sweet pastimes of Krishna have displayed their service to Gaur by accepting male bodies in Gaur's pastimes. Therefore, external appearance and activities are irrelevant in their service to the Supreme Lord.
I remember Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj was giving class in Los Angeles, and Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he was saying that one should never disturb the mood of Gaur. Gaur is in the mood of Radharani, so don't try to make him Krishna. And he was saying that, and because the deity of Mahaprabhu had a peacock feather on his crown. When the Pujari heard that, the Pujari took off the peacock feather. He understood what the Gaur Govinda Maharaj was trying to say.
I think the same thing happened in Badger also. I think because Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj went to Badger in 95, I think, or something like that. And the same, I think we had a peacock feather in Gornitai's hair, and I think he did the same thing. I think I remember hearing that. So yeah, never put peacock feather in Mahaprabhu. Thanks for sharing that, Kishore. Verse 28. Prabhur agyay age sarva parikar janma lobhilen sabe manusha bhitar. On the order of the Lord, all of his associates took birth in human society. Gaudiya Bhashya. The associates of the Lord appeared on his order in the human society of this world in order to assist in Śrī Gaura's pastimes. They are not ordinary human beings, prone to suffer the results of their past karma and subject to Yamaraja's punishment. Just another thing on that point, Govinda Saha here, he asked me a question, and I didn't know that this is the answer I gave. I'm not sure if it was the perfect answer, but he asked, if we're trying not to disturb his mood of being in the mood of Radharani, then why do we put tulsi leaves on Mahaprabhu's feet? We don't put tulsi leaves on Srimati Radhika's feet. And so the answer I gave, but if anybody has a better answer, let me know. But I was just thinking, because in Archan, you have to follow the rules of Archan. And so anytime you're worshiping anybody who's Vishnu Tattva, no matter what, you must give tulsi leaf on their feet. And yeah, of course, peacock feather only goes on Krishna and no other, but when we're worshiping, yeah, Bhagavan, following Archan Vidhi, then we must put tulsi on the feet of any Vishnu incarnation.
I once heard that not to put tulsi leaves on Mahaprabhu's feet, that to put it in his hand.
I don't know though, because in Archan Dipika, and I have other Archan books as well from Gopinath Gaudiya Math and stuff like that. I've studied this because I had to work on the Archan Dipika, and everywhere they say to put tulsi on Mahaprabhu's feet. So
okay, if Gurudev is saying to, then yes.
Yes, in Gurudev's Archan Dipika it says that, and in other Archan Dipikas, because I compared them together. And so, but maybe somebody who's following in, like, who has a certain mood or whatever, like a Raganuga Sadak, I don't know. But when we perform Archan, we must follow the Vidhi, because that's what Archan is. It's Vidhi, the prescribed rules for worship. Okay, so Gaudiya Bhashya. The associates of the Lord appeared on his order. And okay, so now we come to this next section. We now just completed the section about why Mahaprabhu came, and it was getting into the external reason of why he came, for it to establish the Nam Sankirtan. And we know from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami the internal reasons that he came, his personal, and those 4 reasons that he came: 2 reasons for himself and 2 reasons for the jivas. And there's 1 primary reason for himself and 1 secondary reason for himself. And there's 1 primary reason for the jivas and a secondary reason for the jivas. So we know that all from Chaitanya Charitamrita. But in here, it was just explaining the external reason for the jivas, Nam Sankirtan, establish the Yuga Dharma. Now we come to this next section where he's explaining how all the different associates of the Lord who the Lord ordered to descend before his advent. So these are all the associates that are older than Mahaprabhu. Prabhur agyay age sarva parikar janma labilen sabe manusha bhitar. On the order of the Lord, all of his associates took birth in human society. Gaudiya Bhashya. The associates of the Lord appeared on his order in human society of this world in order to assist in Sri Gaura's pastimes. They are not ordinary human beings, prone to suffer the results of their past karma and subject to Yamaraja's punishment. Verse 29. Ki ananta ki Shiva virinchi rishi gan, jata avatarer parshada aptagan. Ananta, Shiva, Brahma, various sages, and the associates of all the Lord's previous incarnations, they all took birth as great devotees. Gaudiya Bhashya. Various demigods and sages who had expertly offered prayers to the Lord in his various incarnations appeared in this material world as associates in Gaura's eternal pastimes. 30. Bhagavata rupe janma hoilo sabar, Krishna she janen jar, ankshe janma jar. Only Gaura Krishna knew which associate took birth as which devotee. Gaudiya Bhashya. The associates who had assisted in the pastimes of Krishna now displayed their respective services to Sri Gaurasundar as Vaishnavas of this world. The original personality of Godhead, Sri Gaura Krishna, personally knew where each of his devotees appeared. Karo janma navadvipe, karo chatti grame, keho radhe odhra deshe, Shri hatte paschime. Some took birth in Navadvip, some in Chattagram, some in Radha Desh, some in Orissa, and some in Srihatta, and some in the west. Gaudiya Bhashya. Many devotees of the Lord, such as Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami, Srila Jagarananda Pandit Goswami, Pandit Sadashiv, Gangadas, Shuklambar, Sridhar, Purushottam, Sanjay, Hiranya, and Jagadish appeared in Navadvip. Srila Pundarik Vidyanidhi, also known as Acharya Nidhi or Prema Nidhi, Shri Vasudev Datta Thakur and his brother Mukunda Datta appeared in the village of Chhattigram, presently known as Chattagram. Radhadesh refers to places on the western side of the Ganges. Shri Nityananda Prabhu appeared in the village of Ekachakra, or Virachandrapur, in the district of Birbhum. Shri Satyaraj Khan and Shri Ramananda Vasu appeared in the village of Kulina, in the district of Burdwan. Shri Mukunda, Shri Narahari, Shri Raghunandan, Chiranjeev, and Sulochan appeared at Shri Khanda. I love Shri Khanda. That place is so nice. Many devotees like Shri Govinda, Shri Madhav, Shri Vasudev Ghosh, Dvija Haridas, and Dvija Vaninath Brahmachari appeared at Agradvip. Oh, Dvija Vaninath, is that referring to Gadadhar Pandit's younger brother? Must be, right? If it is referring to Gadadhar Pandit's brother, that must mean that, because Gadadhar Pandit came to Navadvip when he's 12 years old, as I just heard yesterday, or 13 years old. And so he must be at least that much younger. The word odhra in this verse refers, I'm just guessing here, so sorry, don't take what I'm saying as authoritative. The word odhra in this verse refers to Utkal, the state of Orissa, which is described in statements like Odhra Kshetra, Orissa, is very famous as the abode of Purushottam, Lord Jagannath. And these four sampradayas will appear in Kali Yuga at Utkal from the Supreme Lord Purushottam. Shri Bhavananda Rai and his sons, headed by Srila Ramananda Rai, Shri Vaninath, and Gopinath, as well as Shiki Mahiti, Madhavi Devi, Murari Mahiti, Paramananda Mahapatra, Orissa Shivananda, Prataparudra Kashi Mishra, Pradumna Mishra, and many other devotees appeared there in Orissa. See Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Antyakanda, chapter 5. Shri Hatta is presently situated in the state of Assam, which is adjacent to Bengal. Many great devotees like Srivas Pandit, Shri Rama Pandit, Srivas Pandit's brother, right? Shri Chandrasekhar Acharya, Shri Jagannath Mishra, and Shri Advaita Prabhu appeared in this district. The word Paschime indicates the place presently known as Trihut. The Sanskrit name of this place is Tirubhukti. Shripad Paramananda Puri and Shri Raghunath Raghupati Upadhyaya appeared at this place. They were both disciples of Shri Madhavendra Puripad and very intimate associates of Shriman Mahaprabhu. Just know every time it says Shriman, that's a mistake. It should be Shriman. Shriman Mahaprabhu. There's no long A there. Okay. Nanastane avatirna hoila bhaktagan. Navadvipe asi hoilo sabar milan. Although the devotees appeared in different places, they all gathered in Navadvip. Gaudiya Bhashya. The words Sabar Milan indicates that the associates of Shri Gaurasundar appeared in various impure places in order to eliminate and increase the glories of these places. And later, they came to the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya and Śrī Navadvip and joined his Sankirtan movement. 1 second. No. Just checking the comments. Okay. No comments there. Verse 33. Sarva Vaishnavera Janma Navadvipya Dhame Kono Mahapriya Daser Janma Anyasthane. Most of the Vaishnavas took birth in Navadvip, and some beloved associates appeared elsewhere. Gaudiya Bhashya. Most of the Vaishnavas appeared in the various villages of Navadip, but some of the followers of Shri Gaur, headed by Shri Nityananda, appeared elsewhere. Srivasa Pandita Ar, Shri Rama Pandita, Shri Chandra Shekhara Dev, Trailokya Pujita. Srivas Pandit, Shri Rama Pandit, and Shri Chandrasekhar are worshipped throughout the three worlds. Gaudiya Bhashya. Srivas and Shri Ram are described in Shri Kavi Karnapur's Gaur Ganodashtipika, verse 90, as follows. The most intelligent Srivas Pandit is non-different from Shri Narad Muni. Shri Parvat Muni, who is very dear to Narad Muni, has now appeared as Shri Ram Pandit, the younger brother of Srivas Pandit. After the Lord took sannyas, Srivas and Shri Ram left Navadip and resided at Kumar Hatta. See Antyakanda, chapter 5. Yeah, we hear about Narad Muni's relationship with Parvat Muni, right? And the story of Ragari the hunter. And we see that you can get a glimpse of how they're like best friends. Okay. Shriman Chandrasekhar Dev was the Lord's devotee uncle. He was the husband of Shachi's sister. Okay, Sachi Devi's sister is her sister's husband is Chandrasekhar Dev. Interesting, I didn't know that. According to the Gaur Ganodashtipika, he was one of the 9 nidhis, or Chandra. Sriman Mahaprabhu danced and sang in his house in the mood of Devi for the first time in Bengal. The place where Chandrasekhar's house was situated is now known as Rajapatan. That's where Chaitanya Mata is. The huge octagonal temple known as Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata is situated at this place. It is the center of nourishment for the world famous Vishwa Vaishnav Raj Sabha. Deities of the 4 Vaishnav Sampradaya Acharyas are established on the 4 sides of this temple. Shri Guru Gauranga and Gandharvika Giridhari are being worshipped in the middle of the temple. Nityananda Prabhu gave prior information to Shri Chandrasekhar of the Lord's plan to take sannyas. See Madhyakanda, chapter 26. Shri Chandrasekhar was present with Nityananda and Mukundadatta at Katwa when the Lord took sannyas. Chandrasekhar Acharya duly performed the prescribed sannyas rituals and then returned to Navadip to inform everyone of the Lord's acceptance of sannyas. A description of the Lord's kirtan in the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya prior to his acceptance of sannyas is found in the Madhyakanda, chapter 8. The presence of Chandrasekhar Acharya during the huge Sankirtan procession to subdue the Qazi, and when the Lord bestowed his mercy on Sridhar, is described in Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya Lila, chapter 23. Chandrasekhar would accompany the devotees of Bengal to visit the Lord in Nilachal every year. Now, verse 35. What time is it? Oh, it's 8:24. What verse are we reading up to? Let me just look one second. Dang it, it's cut off.
37.
Oh, I'm reading up to 37. Great. Okay, so we'll make it. Bhavaroga Vaidya Shri Murari Nama Jar Shri Hatta Isaba Vaishnavera Avatar. They, along with Shri Murari Gupta, who cures the living entities of their material disease, all took birth in Shri Hatta, which we read is in Assam, right? Gaudiya Bhashya. The word bhavarog refers to the disease of material life. In other words, bhava refers to the material diseases born of attachments to one's home. In this connection, one should refer to Jiva Goswami's Laghu Toshini commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:51-53. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has referred to Murari Gupta as a Vaidya, or a doctor. By doing so, he indicated that Murari exhibited great compassion on the living entities who have been averse to the Lord since time immemorial by destroying the seed of nescience and thus curing their disease of rebelliousness. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur has never referred to Murari Gupta as a doctor of simply the material body, even though he was, but he was much more than that. The incarnation of Vyasadeva and prime example of one recording the activities of the Lord and his devotees has thus confirmed that it is totally prohibited, hellish, and inauspicious to consider Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas as belonging to a particular caste and mode of nature. They are, in fact, transcendental spiritual beings. The words Vaidya Śrī Murari refer to Śrī Murari Gupta, the writer of the celebrated book Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. He appeared in a doctor's family in Srihatta and later became a resident of Sri Navadvip. He was elder to Sriman Mahaprabhu. In his house, the Lord exhibited his form as of Varaha. It's Madhya Kanda chapter 3. And during the Lord's Mahaprakash pastimes, the Lord revealed to him his form as Rama. It's Madhya Kanda chapter 10. Once in the house of Shivas, when Murari Gupta saw both Nityananda and Gaurasundar, he offered his obeisances first to Mahaprabhu and then to Nityananda Prabhu. Seeing this, Mahaprabhu told him, "You have violated proper etiquette by offering obeisances first to me." Later that night, the Lord appeared to him in a dream and glorified the position of Nityananda. Early the next day, Murari offered obeisances first to Nityananda and then to Mahaprabhu. This pleased Mahaprabhu, who then gave him his chewed betel nut remnants. One day, Murari offered fried rice to Mahaprabhu, and the next day, the Lord displayed his pastime of having indigestion from eating that indigestible rice. The Lord therefore came to Murari Gupta for treatment and drank water from his water pot, saying, "This is the only remedy." Another day, when Sriman Mahaprabhu accepted a four-armed form in the house of Shivas, Murari manifested the mood of Garuda. The Lord then sat on his shoulders and exhibited his opulent pastimes. Murari Gupta is Hanuman, right? 1 second, I just realized that the noise suppression thing is still on, and that doesn't make I think it doesn't make the sound very nice. Just changing it back to that was before. There, that's better. Okay, I think that must sound better, right? Okay. Sorry. Once Murari considered that when the Lord disappeared, separation from him would be unbearable, so he decided to give up his body while the Lord was still present in this world. The Lord, who is the Supersoul, forbade him from this act. That's Madhya Kanda chapter 20. On another occasion, Murari offered prayers to the Lord when he accepted the form of Varaha in Murari's house, Antya Kanda chapter 4. His humble entreaties are found in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 11, verses 152 to 158. His attachment to Lord Ramachandra is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 15, verses 137 to 157. The words Vaishnavir avatar indicates that the Vaishnavas belong to Goloka. They do not possess gross or subtle designations. These residents of Goloka appear in this material world for the benefit of the living entities. The Vaishnavas accept gross and subtle bodies to bewilder the demons and accomplish some task. Those bodies are not their constitutional forms. Oh, interesting. The forms of the Vaishnavas are not their constitutional forms. Oh, I have to look that up. That's a questionable thing. Yeah. I'll look that in the Bengali, but I don't want to take too long because if fruitive workers consider a Vaishnav low class because of his external appearance, this improper vision makes them offenders. Everyone within 800,000 miles from where a Vaishnav appears or incarnates in this world is freed from all material conceptions. They then become relieved from the misunderstandings of considering the Vaishnavas as born in a particular caste, as belonging to a particular creed or ashram, as being simply ordinary scholars, or as being objects of mundane enjoyment. The real sadhus who worship Sri Hari and give proper respect to the demigods and Brahmins never fall under the clutches of demoniac vehement karmis by disrespecting the Vaishnavas and thereby cleansing and widening their path to hell. Cleansing the path to hell and widening it. Okay, I'm going to just read this verse, but not the commentary because it's already 8:30. And then we'll read this commentary tomorrow. Pundarika Vidyanidhi Vaishnava Pradhan Chaitanya Vallabha Datta Vasudeva Nam Chatti Grame Hoilo Iha Sabar Parakash Bhurane Hoila Avatirna Haridas. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, the topmost Vaishnav, Chaitanya Vallabh, and Vasudev Datta all appeared in Chattagram. That's in Bangladesh now. Haridas Thakur appeared in the village of Bhudan, which is just right next to the border, right? So we'll read this commentary tomorrow. I'll do a quick Mahamantra, then Jaidwani, and then we can have a little discussion for anybody who wants to stay a little bit longer. One second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Shri Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nugogoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Saparsha Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Shri Kamada Akadashi Titi Ki Jai, or Padmini Akadashi has two names. Shri Purushottam Vrat Ki Jai, Vrat Palankari Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Anantakul, Shri Caitanya-bhāgavata Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai, Swaparshaji Gaur Hari Ki Jai, all the associates who appeared prior to Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Shri Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. All right, Kishore, what did you want to discuss?
Oh, I wanted to know before that, I wanted to know what page in Archana Dipika does Gurudev say to offer tulsi leaves to Mahaprabhu?
I have to get the Hindi. Yeah, I'll open up the Hindi and I can show you.
Okay, and then next time, because it was a disciple of Gurudev that said that Gurudev had said not to offer tulsi leaves.
That's strange because that's definitely not a practice followed in any of the mats. And it's not what Archana Dipika says, but maybe Gurudev gave a specific instruction to one person. You know, like sometimes Gurudev would say unconventional things to particular individuals. Like I remember Gurudev told one devotee to, when they do their anak, not to do it like how he always tells everybody to do their anak like that, right? Put your hand under your heart. But I remember he told one devotee to put their hand over their heart, to like cover their heart like that, instead of like that. And, you know, sometimes he'll give specific instructions to particular devotees where, you know, he wants them to practice in a certain way. Yeah.
Interesting. No, I once heard a story that Gurudev told a devotee lady, "Oh, you're not a Krishna Bhakta, you're a Ram Bhakta." And that.
Oh, yes. I remember that lady. We stayed at her house when we went cross country. Were you in that group? I think. Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe Nanda Kishore was there. I wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah. Kishore was there. Yeah. 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 I remember that. So what did you want to discuss?
Oh, I wanted to discuss that at the end because it was off topic. Like, what are our thoughts on the Radha Vallabh Sampradaya? Like, what are some like similarities and differences between Gaudiya Sampradaya and the Radha Vallabh Sampradaya?
I actually don't know so much about this topic, but the other Kishore from who I'm talking about, Rohini Nandan Prabhu's son. He's also Kishore Krishna, same name as you.
Oh no, he's Krishna. Rohini Nandan Prabhu.
He's
Krishna
Krishna Kishore. Okay, you're
Krishna
Kishore Krishna.
Kishore.
He's Krishna Kishore.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he got really into that. He can. Are you in touch with him? I can put you in touch with him. But he can tell you all sorts of stuff about the. He got really into that.
Send me his WhatsApp number. I know him.
Okay.
But I haven't spoken to him in a couple of years. I just haven't seen him.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put you in touch with him. Also, Shrivas, Shrivas from Canada, my friend. He also was telling me some things, and I have such a bad memory, but they would be good people to ask about that.
Yeah, I've only talked to like Shrivas one time, and that's because I was looking for LA Shrivas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So those are the followers of Vallabhacharya, right?
No, those are the followers of Sri Harihit Vamsh Goswami.
Oh, Harihit Vangsha. They're the ones who don't follow Akarashi, right?
Yeah, those are the ones.
Yeah. Okay. Harihit Vangsha. Okay, yeah. So ask
Krishna Kishore.
Krishna Kishore, yeah.
Okay. Send me his WhatsApp and I'll ask him some stuff.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna just checking the comments on YouTube and Facebook, and then I'll end.
Oh yeah. Oh, and for next time, can you check the Bengali only for the what was it for the Mahaprabhus? For the associates of Mahaprabhus not being their constitutional forms. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's why I highlighted that. I highlighted that because that sounded strange. But he didn't say the associates of Mahaprabhu. He said the Vaishnavas, right?
Yeah, the Vaishnavas.
So maybe it's not referring to the parikaras of Mahaprabhu, but it's referring just to Vaishnavas of this time, that's not their eternal form. But Vaishnavas have an internal Siddha Swarup, their Siddha Deha and Mahaprabhu's Leela, and also their Siddha Deha and Radha and Krishna's pastimes, like that. But just this form that they're currently in, that's my guess. But I'll check the Bengali just to make sure, because that did sound weird to me also.
Yeah, my understanding is, and this is my personal understanding, is that the acharyas we see today, that's their sadak rupa. That's their form as a sadak. That's a form as their sadak. That's not their siddha rupa in Gaur Leela or Krishna Leela.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. And Param Gurudev, he gives an example of how when the Vaishnavas, they enter Nitya-lila, like the pure Vaishnavas, it's like a snake. A snake sheds its skin, and but the snake doesn't. You know what I mean? He just sheds the skin. And so a Vaishnav, when he disappears, it's just like a snake shedding his skin, but he's actually not. He's not. It's not like his demise or something like that. It's just shedding skin.
As Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, thou reason ill who says that Vaishnavas die when thou still live in sound. And what does he say next one? The
Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around, or something like that, right?
Something like that.
The Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm just seeing Indira Mataji. Oh, I'm sorry, your internet connection was not good, so you had to read. Okay, Indira Mataji is asking though. She said, "Please share with us later, Kishore Prabhu, when you learn more about the Radha Vallabh Sampradaya." She's asking you.
Sure, no problem, Mataji.
All right, so is that everything? I'll end the video now.
Well, I could say one more thing, but I think we
need to say it. If anybody wants to go, they can go. There's no.
There's Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. She came up with a pranam mantra for Srila Bhakti Sant Prabhupada, and it goes Gaure Ganga Tate Vraja Veda Nava Dvipe Tu Mayapure Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Prakasha Kabaro Jivaika Kalyanidhi Śrī Siddhanta Saraswati Vidido Gaure Guru Anvaye bhatu bhanuriva prabhatta gangane rupanuka pujita. Basically,
Yeah.
what Srila Srila Goswami Maharaj says that in the land of Gauda, on the banks of the Ganges River, in that Navadip Dham, which is non-different from Braj, and specifically in Mayapur, you have
I can
for
hear you.
the
I could hear. I just needed to spit.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Specifically in Mayapur, you Prabhupada have not manifested the Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata for the conditioned living entities, for the conditioned souls. And you are known, and in the Gaudiya Vaishnava community, you are known as Shri Siddhanta Saraswati. And you are there glowing with brilliance and effulgence. There you are worshipped by the best of the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami.
Wow, beautiful. Right? Because in our for us, how in our line, the way we determine somebody's level of a Vaishnav, like what stage they're at, is how much they are a follower of Rupa Goswami. That's like the way to see how much, to the degree that somebody's following Rupa Goswami, to that degree they're respected. And there he's saying that even the what did he say? The followers of Rupa Goswami worship him, right?
Yeah. Rupanuka Pujita.
Yes. So that shows he's a topmost Rupanuga. Yeah, there's actually the, you know, like the many of the pranam mantras, like all the pranam mantras for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they were all written by Ananta Vasudev. Shri Varshabhanavi Devi, Daitai Kripabdai, all those pranam mantras. And I think even maybe the other ones, like for Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj and Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
They were,
right?
Yeah,
and so
I'm actually glad to have confirmation now. I've been wondering that for a while now.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering if that's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he doesn't have those verses in his songbook or anywhere in any of his books. I wonder if that was the reason, and like why he made his own for that. Or maybe he just wanted to write his own because he's like the most amazing poet. That could also just be the reason. But
I think that it was just because he wanted to write his own compositions, and that was
probably
what was composed by his disciple at the time, or
yes.
so-called disciple.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he would it's interesting, he would address his Gurudev, Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj, as Prabhu. I always thought that was interesting. He would address his guru as Prabhu and his disciples as Prabhu as well.
Yeah. That is interesting. Gaurkishore Prabhu. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I can't give any explanation on that. That's yeah. I mean, I know like there is some kind of explanation. I think I heard Madhav Prabhu say, why do we say Prabhu? Do you actually are you actually saying, oh my Lord? No, but we see all each other as being the property of Prabhu, you know, like the Lord's property. And so in that way, they're also Prabhu because they're the property of Prabhu, of our Lord, something like that. And so that's why we should always refer to each other as Prabhu, because we're seeing everybody as being the property of something like that.
My understanding was that all Vaishnavas are Guru, so you address them as Prabhu. But,
yeah. All right. So I hope you, is it Akadashi for you there right now?
Yeah, it's Akadashi here. Jai Akadashi Devi.
Jai Akadashi Devi ki jai. Right, Haribol. I'm gonna end the video now.
Gaur Haribol.
Gaur Haribol.
Remember to send me Krishna Kishore Prabhu's WhatsApp.
Oh yes, thanks for reminding me. I would have forgotten. Okay, I'll do that right now. Okay, Haribol Shubhnath Prabhu, and everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube, Haribol, everybody. Dandava Pranam.